Get your copy of The Obama Deception today at Infowars.com or download it in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv. The Obama Deception. The people strike back.
Heart disease is on the rise. Clogged arteries, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol levels may not be fully detected by you, but the symptoms are there. Loss of energy, blood sugar spikes and drops, poor circulation, and irregular heartbeat are just a few of these that can alert you that something is wrong. Hear how Heart and Body Extract is making a difference in thousands of people's lives across America.
My blood pressure has normalized. My diabetes has totally improved.
Everyone is telling me now how much healthier I look, and I'm telling everyone how much healthier I feel. I recommend Heart and Body Extract to everyone.
Anybody over 40 in the North American continent should be using this product as a preventative to keep their cardiovascular system healthy.
Order your 2-month supply today by calling 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. Or order online, hbextract.com. Heart and Body Extract, 866-295-5305 or hbextract.com.
We don't need no education. We don't need no thought control. No dark sarcasm in the classroom.
Here's some of the headlines I've got. European Parliament pushes for carbon tax Europe-wide. Here's another one out of Der Spiegel. One click away from a cop. They're putting internet tattletale kiosk in everywhere to anonymously report people. And because there's not a lot of real crime going on, it's report that they littered, report what's in their trash can, report out-of-state license plates. That's now happening here inside the United States as well. Here's another one. UK police face waterboarding controversy. They're now waterboarding people to find out who their marijuana dealers are. See, that's how it works. Oh, we're just going to waterboard Al-Qaeda. But you read the British laws and U.S. laws, it's for whoever they want. Congress subpoenas Fed over Bank of America deal. See, the godlike Fed that says no one can look into them, no agency can investigate them. In fact, do me a favor, guys. Google Alan Greenspan says Fed above the law. It's a couple minutes into a 9-minute clip. I mean, it's in my film, The Obama Deception, but I'm going to play that later. You're saying no one, no police, no agency, no government. We are God. And Bernanke said that to Congress, too. I have him talking to Senator Sanders. And he says, I won't tell you where the money went. Now, sit down, Congressman, sit down, Senator, and shut up. We own this country now. But that bravado, it's like a bully. When he sits there and tells you he's going to kick your butt, when he sits there and tells you he's going to dominate you, and then you just go ahead and start fighting back. And even if he ends up beating you, if you fight hard enough, you're going to hurt him too. And he's going to move on to an easier target next time. But I guess everybody's got to be beat up a few times to learn that. And don't worry, the government, if it hadn't beat you up real bad yet, it's going to. Or one of the corporations that has got its favor and is allowed to do whatever it wants, they are. And then you're going to grow up, you're going to find out you got to stand up for yourself. Okay, that's all coming up. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, here is the big news, and the media will no doubt try to spin this. This is going to end up, we broke this last night. This was sent to our office. Tim Frugier doing a great job back there in customer service manager. He saw it in the email ticket. Lord knows what we're missing. I don't have the personnel to read all the tens of thousands of emails that come in every couple of days, but he caught this. We made some phone calls last night, confirmed its accuracy here in Texas and in Tennessee. This is going on nationwide, though all VFW outfits have not gotten this yet. Let me read you the article now, ladies and gentlemen. Government demands inventory of all VFW weapons, even 150-year-old cannons and muskets, swords, because these decommissioned items before were given to the VFW kind of as a backup militia. the remnants of the militia, the posse, civil defense. They are now wanting to know every Civil War cannon, every old Army tank that's been decommissioned and welded shut, bolted out front, or every airplane, every helicopter, every missile out front. But mainly they want the World War II rifles, the Korean War rifles, and I had already been told about this by people that I have inside Camp Mabry, where they administer a lot of this stuff here in Texas, that they are planning to confiscate those guns. And they've already told VFW marchers all over the nation, you can just Google this and pull it up, VFW not allowed to carry rifles in parade, or the police have arrested some of them. Doesn't matter, they're even spiked barrels that have, had hot lead poured down them that are sealed. It doesn't matter. You can't let slaves see old vets with rifles. You can't have old Army tanks out front because they're getting ready for gun confiscation. They're getting ready for gun control more and more in America. And they're also worried about the vets. Now, remember that in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and then it popped up at Fort Bliss, Texas, and then the media said, oh, those were just isolated generals and colonels on the bases. They just thought this up on their own. Yeah, sure they did. In California, Texas, and Kentucky, and then now other states. And again, we broke this years ago. Then World Net Daily picked up on it. We broke it again when it broke about Kentucky. And people were in denial at first about it. And then they said, oh, well, it's just a lone commander. It's just a lone commander. Yeah, lone commanders all over the countries at Army bases. And they're telling him, we don't care if you live off base. We don't care if you're a commander. We don't care if you're an officer, non-commissioned officer. We don't care if you're a private. We don't care what you are. You will fill out all the firearms you've got in your life and any new firearms you buy and register them with us, even if they're off base and you own them. And then people made excuses about that. Well, now they're going to the VFW, and you can read in the comments section, there are people confirming from their VFWs this is happening, but I have not just have the document and the phone numbers and called, I have called someone I know in the VFW, and they confirmed that this indeed did happen. And then I talked to somebody separately in Texas, randomly calling and confirmed it. You can read the documents up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com right now. Government demands inventory of all VFW weapons. But see, the media will then pick up on this in the next few days, and they'll only report on this by itself. Our article gives you a bigger picture of the background and what else is going on for a fuller spectrum analysis, not a full spectrum. Nothing's omnipresent, but I guess God Almighty. An InfoWars reader has passed along an email sent to VFW commanders by the assistant adjunct of the Department of Texas Veterans of Foreign Wars, indicating that the U.S. Army, TACOM, Tactical Army Command, is demanding an inventory of all weapons held by VFW Post. Because again, Northcom's number one threat and number one enemy is former military. Now, I told you this again 2 years ago. We had police officers on this show and wrote articles. We ought to dig those out. Where police departments nationwide under Homeland Security grants were taught to fight veterans coming home and attacking, or veterans not giving up their land. And they were told all cities will be attacked by veterans with improvised explosive devices. I don't care if you're the Austin SWAT team or the LA SWAT team or the Albuquerque, New Mexico SWAT team or the Providence, Rhode Island SWAT team listening. You know you were given this training. But most of you listening saw it in your local news. Now, remember the New York Times. In fact, I say full spectrum. Kurt, you need to add all this. Great article you wrote, but we need to add to this article all the other background that really makes it clear. Where they're training the Boy Scouts of America and all these other youth groups in government, federally issued Homeland Security uniforms with federal grants for gun confiscation and to track down veterans and kill them. And then we have the AP in Michigan where they come into public schools and elementary dressed up in camo saying, we're going to kill you. The police do under federal grants, saying we're homeschoolers against public education. We're going to kill you, engaged in mind control, traumatizing children and demonizing the Second Amendment and homeschooling. That was AP. This is a huge psyop going on. Because the globalists can't help it. The bankers are in control financially. They had to steal $14.8 trillion and growing. It'll be 26 plus trillion 1 year out. Come this October from the banker takeover, October 3rd date, it will be 20 plus trillion, double the GDP. But the American people are still armed, so they need to stage terror attacks to get us to rally around patriotically to a fake outside threat to go along with this. But this time they're going to claim Arabs are working with militias and white supremacists. They're going to mix those three